All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to be talking about a culinary tradition that's, way more than just a simple recipe. It's really a story about preservation, about patience, and about a flavor so deep that it carries history right along with it. We're talking about the art of Chinese cured meat. It all kicks off with this really simple but powerful line from our source. Cured pork ribs are very fragrant. That one word, fragrant, that's our key. It tells you right away this isn't just about a salty taste or a smoky taste, it's a full-on aromatic experience. And we're going to break down exactly how that amazing fragrance gets built layer by layer. So, first step, the flavor foundation. This is really where it all begins, where that final, complex taste gets carefully built from the very first step. Okay, so the whole thing really breaks down into three main stages. It all starts with the cure. This is where they take the meat, we're talking pork ribs and trotters here, and coat them in this simple but really potent mix of salt and Sichuan peppercorns. And this isn't just about making it last longer, this is the very first layer of that amazing flavor we're talking about. And then comes what might be the most important ingredient of all, thyme. For 3 whole days, the meat just sits and marinates. And, it's not just sitting there doing nothing. This is when all those spices, that salt, they're working their way deep inside, pulling out moisture and totally changing the texture and taste from the inside out. And let's talk about those Sichuan peppercorns for a second, because they're not what you might think. We're not talking about your everyday black pepper here. These things are famous for that mala tingle, that unique numbing feeling. But just as important, if not more so, is their smell, this incredible, almost citrusy fragrance. That's a huge part of the aroma we're building up. All right, next up, we have the transformation by smoke. And this is where the magic really happens. It's almost like alchemy, taking something that's already good and turning it into something truly extraordinary. So what's so special about this smoking method? Well, it's all about what they use for the smoke. You might be thinking hickory or applewood, right? Nope. Here, they're using pine needles and pomelo skins. Just take a second and imagine that smell. You've got that sharp, woodsy scent from the pine, mixing with the bright, citrusy smell of the pomelo. That combo is the secret sauce behind that incredible fragrance. And what you get at the end of all that patient curing and smoking is this. Just look at it. A beautiful, deeply colored, and unbelievably aromatic cured meat. It's this amazing delicacy made from really simple stuff, ingredients, thyme, and smoke. But it's not meant to be eaten by itself. Oh no, it's ready to be the star of a much bigger show. Which brings us to assembling the feast. Because this meat is way more than just meat. It's the absolute centerpiece of a huge meal, where every other dish is there to play off that rich, smoky flavor. So let's see what else is on the table. Okay, so here's the full spread. Of course, you've got the cured ribs and trotters right in the middle. But then you also have these soaked, air-dried radish shreds for a bit of texture and crunch. You've got fresh, spicy chili pea shoots, and then the sauces. You've got chili powder for a kick, and these 2 super savory sauces. One made from fermented black bean oil and another from a bean and rice mix. Man. Let's zoom in on one of those for a second, the fermented black beans. They're steamed until they're super soft and, there's that word again, fragrant. It just goes to show how much care goes into every single part of this meal, right? Creating this deep umami bomb of a sauce that can really hold its own against that intense cured meat. I absolutely love this next part. Right in the middle of all this talk about preservation and time, you get this urgent command, eat quickly. They're the best these days. They're talking about the pea shoots. It's just such a perfect little reminder that these meals are all about balance, the old and the new, preserved flavors right alongside the best of what's in season right now. So as we wrap up, let's talk about a taste of tradition, the final word, because when you step back and look at the whole picture, what have we really been talking about? It's pretty clear this isn't just about food, right? It's a process that started out of necessity. I mean, you had to preserve food to get through the hard times, but it grew into a real art form. It's a reason for people to come together. It's a shared experience that connects everyone at the table, not just to each other, but to all the generations who perfected these techniques before them. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This whole process, from the specific peppercorns to the pomelo smoke, it tells a very specific story. And it makes you think, doesn't it? What flavors are preserved in your family's traditions? What are the recipes or the techniques that tell the story of where you come from?